from the 3rd of the 2nd month of 1444, a planetary spread. We don't know what will be reacting upon us, but the hanged man gets a break at the least. The Queen of Hats is standing apart and how she is treating others too. There are hopes for what the 6 of Peppermills is doing. Not even family can be ones from which the 5 of Oysters will take consoling. Pain is transcended by the 10 of Flamingos reversed if it doesn't fall too much into suffering. 14. Temperance is persevering in the possibilities of less than ideal journeying. Or the Emperor reversed is not as he's appearing, but has limited control. Now, what are your initial thoughts regarding these cards? And
well, I picked up like a tornado, an event. Any, life event can be, like a tornado, just absolutely awful. But, the end result, there can be victory out of that. Definitely victory.
Well, I'm thinking this card. So we don't know what will be reacting upon us, but 9, the Hanged Man, gets a break at the least. Because remember, if a tornado sort of has a space, tornadoes and hurricanes have that space in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the eye of the storm, and let struggle lead to victory. Don't fall into self-pity and all of that. I also felt, being nice. It's kind of like one of the things that you learned in kindergarten or 1st grade. Being nice to people who, especially they're nice to you. Mutual respect. One that can't return, respect is one that just turn away. They obviously don't deserve respect, if they can't.
Respect and agreement are 2 different things.
Yeah.
You don't have to be supportive at all if you respect, and that's the thing. If you respect people, sometimes you're like, hey, now, dude, this is not true. What's the evidence for this? Or this is not, right or whatever. So, of course, in the Alice in Wonderland thing, for some people, this is for the Emperor reversed is not as he's appearing, but has limited control. And I don't know if we lost some of the previous ones, but let's get through this in the next series of this before we actually go back and try to see what didn't upload right for some reason. But I like the Cheshire Cat is one of those key things that people remember, because it's sort of a joker, and it's appears and disappears, and that's just something weird. It's not a usual thing for a cartoon. At least it wasn't at the time. And of course, the whole Alice in Wonderland thing comes before cartoons, doesn't it? I don't know what year it came out.
Was it the 30s? Who was that? The author? Carol?
Well, I guess they were having some movies back then. 14, Temperance is persevering in the possibilities of less than ideal journeying. So
I see a little bit of victory right there.
Remember how one thing you got, it's like the Golden Dawn has two of these cards. One's the Ascent, you know, like some sort of angelic figure with a bow and all that stuff, and the other sort of the Descent around the cauldron and your whatever. So I like that idea of having different things, but I would set linguistically, I think, as far as the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, if you take it further back into Aramaic, I think if you're going to have more than 22 letters, splitting the Ain into Ga and Ain makes the most sense meaning wise. You know, you can have up to 30, but so those were, and if you have those 30, you do the you know, like Arabic has 30 letters, and you can think of it as like a cube of space with the corners. The I Ching takes up the corners, but the originally you could say maybe that was the symbolism. But well, you could say instead of a cauldron, he's looking to see what he has, but he's staying balanced. You know, he's still, you know, making the decision for, you know, the unconscious and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it has
Wondering.
elements that kind of make me think of that. Once you see it as two cards or two cards merged into one, some cards make more sense.
And reflections.
The Queen of Hats is standing apart in how she is treating others too. And I guess that's what made you think about the, you know, how you have to treat others. Now, I don't remember what this character is, because you remember the Queen, Peppermills or whatever, whichever card is that person who plays games where you swing about the flamingos and all that stuff. And is always yelling at people when it's not necessary, or you know, when it's not necessary. It's like, I understand yelling to be heard, but normally you just want to talk to whatever. If someone just has a different opinion, you don't yell at them because they have a different opinion.
That could be an escalator, you know, someone loud and yelling all the time, you know, that could definitely escalate. I like quiet.
Well, there is water. It seems it almost looks like she's on an island. And
maybe she.
You tend to lose like color. There's a reason why in the water things just aren't so colorful. So, you know, her coloring is kind of pale. Although the queens, if you're going to give hair colors to each suit, the queen, whatever, like the wands, you can give or the wands or the clubs, you can give them, make them redheads. The cups or the hearts, you can make them blondes. You can make the swords or spades, you can make them brunettes. You can make the people of the earth card have you know, the diamonds or the pentacles, you can have them as the you know, have them have raven hair. Okay, let me see. There are hopes for what the Six of Peppermills is doing.
There's a lot of wonder, a lot of thought.
Well, it's deliberate, and maybe it's like that, you know, in the Golden Dawn and other things, they talk about these god forms. So you're taking on these forms in ritual. I've definitely employed that technique myself. Not that I thought, oh, I'm going to picture myself as this, and therefore, like, I don't do it because I'm worshiping some monkey god or whatever in that sense. Although there's this idea that people have that, like, you switch off. I'm going to worship this week, and the next week I'm going to treat the other thing as a god, and it's like, nope. But then there ends up being a lot of conflict. Like I was talking about when I interviewed the one guy, the one Sufi path. There's this one Sufi path that I don't know. They're about an hour drive. Well, I mean, I guess they have multiple locations, but you know that there's but it's like they have a different religion each week, and you have to look on the chart to see which religion you're practicing.
That's
it's like, well, they send you an email, and it's like, okay, oh, I didn't know this was was Durga Worship Week, and oh, this is Tibetan Buddhist Week, and I mean it's not
Wow.
to oversimplify it there.
Right.
Pain is transcended by the 10 of flamingos reversed, if that doesn't fall into too much suffering. And well, you look at the okay. It's upside down. Oh, there's a person in the middle of that, so it is like a typical card, but you got to look closer because you don't notice the person in the middle.
Pain
So
produces.
the flamingos, are they okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess they are faced pretty evenly the same direction. Oh wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, maybe it is not balanced which way they're facing. I think there's a storm because there's yellow from the sky, and then the other, and to give space for the other before opening a new meeting.
That grabbed my
Not
attention
even
there.
family
See it.
can be ones from which the 5 of oysters will take consoling.
There we go.
Because just rabbit-headed turtle.
Interesting.
Rabbit-headed and rabbit-footed turtle is which is a weird combination.
Yeah. Like fast and slow.
He's crying. There's a rainbow in the sky. And people are listening to him. But maybe that's how he's dealing with it.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta slow down.
And it can't be like that. There was a King of the Hill. There was a King of the Hill episode where the guy was like, where Hank was telling Luann what to do with emotions, and he's like, "Well, you just figure out how to bottle up and inside." And it's like, and Luann's like, "But that hurts." It's like, "Yeah, things hurt." It's like you don't suppress your feelings to the point where you feel a physical pain somewhere. That's horrible advice.
Right. And you can't push them to the side and lock them back to, that's like a survival technique sometimes, that I've heard of. Push it to the side to keep on going, or it comes back.